Hello everyone, welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we are making a soap based on the Robin Hood movies from the 1930s. I'm just setting up the last minute things here, turning on the chats, making sure everything is working. The soap is going to have a lot of different parts to it. We're going to have a bunch of different colors, as you can see. Let me just turn this off. So it's going to have a bunch of different colors. We're also going to be using some embeds. It's going to be a really fun soap. So I hope you stick around to watch. It's going to be great. If you do have any suggestions for any future soaps, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will definitely give it a try. All right, I'm just setting up the last of my chats here. Just a second. Almost got them up. One moment here. Okay. It looks like that's good. Okay. Also, please consider liking and subscribing my video if you enjoy it. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers to open up the community tab, so that way I will have another way to communicate with you guys. So please consider that. And let's go ahead and get everything sorted out here. Let me just show you what we've got so far. So these are just going to be the pots we're using for the colors. I'm going to set those aside here. I'm going to set aside the mold. All right, so let me show you these colors. If you guys have seen that old, excuse me, the old Robin Hood movie, it is actually in color, even though it was made in, I believe it was 1938. So we will have some colors here. I wanted some greens for Sherwood Forest, so I chose this one. It's High Society Green. It's a really pretty green color that has a gold shimmer to it. I've got this one, it's Savage Garden. It's a darker green. It has more blue tones to it. Hi Stacy, welcome. Just going over the colors real quick here. I have this brown, it's called Magic Mushroom. I ordered a sample size, and all these colors are from Nurture Soap. If you want to get some, I do have a link down below in the comment section, or I'm sorry, in the video description. It's an affiliate link, but it doesn't cost you anything extra to order. And this brown is really neat. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it, but it's a really nice, just a really even brown color. You see how it looks in this container. The container used to have orange, so that's what that's from, but the mica's is really, really nice, like a true brown. And then I have Wanderlust, which is a really warm pink. And the reason I chose those two colors was in the movie, Robin Hood is wearing a green and brown outfit. And since we got the green for the trees, I thought we would just use the brown, since it'll still have the green and brown. And then Maid Marian had a couple different outfits that were sort of like this in color. One was a dress, and the other was this cloak. It was really pretty. I think she had a green, like velvet dress on, and then she had this kind of warm rosy colored cloak over the top. That was really pretty. So I thought we'd use this to represent that. So we'll go ahead and set these aside. Oops, get back in there. Making sure nothing else got knocked over. Okay, so let me set this off to the side. And then for the fragrance, I chose pomegranate. I wanted something that smelled really nice, and it's really hard to pick something that would fit that exact theme of just Robin Hood. But I don't know if you've ever seen old paintings, like old oil paintings of still life, like fruit, or if there's a feast, like a scene of a feast. A lot of times there'll be pomegranates in there, so I thought this would work for that. It smells really, really good. It's a very juicy, fruity kind of a fragrance. Very happy smelling. So I really like this one. I decided to go ahead and go with that. And then for the top of the soap, I wanted to put some embeds. So I made these. We're gonna have to assemble them on top of the soap. I was gonna assemble them beforehand, but I just wasn't confident that they wouldn't fall apart. These are gonna be little parts to make arrows. So you've got the shaft of the arrow here. Here's little arrowheads, and then these will be the feathers on the sides of the arrows. And hopefully we'll be able to assemble these without any problems when we get done with the soap. Since this is a new fragrance, I don't know how well it's going to soap, if it's going to accelerate, or if it's going to give us any problems. So we'll find out. Hopefully I'll have time to put those embeds on top. If not, then I'll assemble them off camera and use something like some soap, liquid soap or something to set them on top. We'll do that if it comes down to it. Hopefully it doesn't. Let me just see what you guys are saying here. Yeah, you like the arrows? Yeah, I thought they'd be cute. I wanted something, and I couldn't think of something else, but I thought the arrows were appropriate because they always show him with the bow and arrow. So let me see here. And you found pomegranate sometimes makes your sinuses go nuts. Yeah, I don't know how much actual pomegranate is in there, but it just has like a fruity, almost fruity floral scent, but it has a very, I don't know, it smells very happy. So I thought that would be good. Let me go ahead and put on my face mask real quick. Just a second here. I'm gonna take off the headset. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get some gloves on. All right. So what we'll do, because this is a new fragrance, I will add the fragrance to the colors, and I will wait till the very end. So hopefully I don't forget. Okay. In fact, I'll set it here. Maybe if it's more visible. I don't remember the last time, aside from the Wizard of Oz soap, I don't remember the last time I forgot to add the fragrance, but it's the first time for everything. Alright, so here are the oils that I have tried to cool down to room temperature. They feel okay. And the lye water, which has been cooling for some time. So let's go ahead and mix that together real quick. We'll get this started. And then I'll divide them up into colors. Just a second here. Let's see. Okay. Alright. I just want this, well, I kind of want this barely mixed, but then I know when I add the colors in, it'll be, hold on. Do a little more. Okay, that looks better. Alright. And I don't want the, so the color for Maid Marian and Robin Hood, I don't want there to be too much of that. It's going to be mostly the green because I feel like the forest is big, so it makes sense to have that be the main part of the soap and then have the other colors more as accents. So I may actually, probably what I should have done was put the pink and the brown in smaller containers, but we'll see. Just trying to get this even-ish. Okay, that looks good. And just checking these two. Yeah, this one needs a tiny bit. Alright, that's better. Okay, why don't I do the greens first, and then the brown, and then I'll do the red last, but I can mix it in with a whisk. So I'll start with the lighter green. I'll put this in here. Okay. This is that High Society. It's a really nice, like almost a true green. It's not super bright and not too dark. And then it's got those gold. It's kind of like gold flecks, or like I don't know. It's like iridescent gold. It's really, really pretty. I'm just gonna blitz this really quick. And scraping down the sides a little bit to get that color back in there. Okay. Now the gold, it's hard to see in soap batter. It turns a little bit opaque, but when you wash with it, you can see the sparkles. It's really pretty. Okay. There's the other green. This is that Savage Garden. This is a darker, more blue tone green. It's really nice. Uh-oh. We got some of this green stuck to the edges. Hang on a sec. We'll just use this to whisk it in. There we go. When we do the fragrance, we'll use that whisk for the greens and the brown probably. Okay. This is the darker green. There we go. So those two colors will be nice together because they're not going to, they're not just going to disappear next to each other. They should stay pretty separate. Okay, let's go ahead and put the brown. And this is that Magic Mushroom brown. It's very pretty. I like the little bit of shimmer that it has. And that, again, that's not going to be very obvious in the soap, but on the mica, it's pretty. And if you want to use micas in things like acrylic and stuff, I'm letting you know it's got the shimmers. And it is quite a red-toned brown. It's very, very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there and clean up this disaster I've made here. Okay. All right, now we do the pink-ish color. This is that really pretty, like rosy color. Now, I wasn't sure how much of this I was going to need. I've only used this color, I think, one other time. So if I end up needing more, I can always add more, but actually I think that's going to be just fine. Okay. So before I add the fragrance, yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, before I add the fragrance, I'm going to get the mold ready and face it the correct direction. What I want to do is do a swirl using my swirl tool. So I'll go down like this and swirl it. If it thickens too much, we'll do something different. But that's the plan for now. Let me get this out of here. Okay. All right, where's that fragrance? Here we go. I'm going to start with the greens because that's what's going down first. And then we'll put the other two colors kind of on top. I'm planning on going like this across and then swirling them. All right, so let's start with a little bit of this. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, that smells so nice. All right, I'm going to put this in here. Really glad I used this. It smells really good. Okay, put that in there. All right, so let's go this way. We'll just kind of pour them in, alternating a little bit. And then I should probably save some aside for the sample, not the sample, but the extra bar that I always seem to have extra batter for. There we go. Although I think I'm gonna just go ahead and make the soap. There, that actually looks kind of cool. Just like that. It's like a little design on top. I'll wait till the end before I put it in the sample bar just in case I end up needing it for some reason. All right, here's this. I'm gonna pour some in here in the brown. Okay, just a tiny bit. Okay. All right. Making sure you guys see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna kind of stick to one area like this. Okay, I'll put the rest of this in here. And a pink-ish color. Kind of looks like a tree by itself, just like that. Okay. All right, so here is the color for Maid Marian. Pour this in. Whoops, looks like I'm blocking the camera again. There we go. Okay, that just about fills it. Let me tap this out I'll put a little bit more green on top. Let's see, which one do we have? We have more of the dark green. So I'll go ahead and put that like this on top just to fill it all the way to the top. There we go. Okay. I'm just trying to get out any air bubbles. Looks like there was one right there. Okay. And my swirl tool. There we go. So I'll do it this way around. I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to kind of swirl, because when we cut them like this, we'll have a pretty 3-color swirl in there with the green, and then the 2 greens, and then the pink and the brown. There we go. Okay. And I tried to pick colors that went well together. So that's why I picked a pink that was a little bit warmer, and why I picked a brown that had warmer tones to it and things like that, because I didn't want there's so many colors going on here. I didn't want it to look crazy, because I don't really see Robin Hood as being crazy. I mean, he might be like eccentric, but not. I don't think he's really crazy. There we go. All right. So that's done. And then I want to get a little bit of this lighter green. And let's see which direction my line's going. Okay. I'm going to put just a little bit, if I can get it to come out. Here it comes. Just gonna, yeah, this did not accelerate too bad, so that's good. I'm just going to put a little bit on here, just so that we have some contrast, because the 3 darker colors kind of came out on top. And what did I do with it? Here it is. I'm just going to take this chopstick, and I think I'll do a little bit of swirl like this. I don't want to make this the main focus, but I didn't want there to be like obvious lines either. Okay, so first, maybe we should just leave it like that, huh? That's pretty. Yeah, Stacy, I put the fragrance in each color before I poured it. So I did the 2 greens, and then I did the brown, and then I did the pink. So before I get too much further ahead of myself here, let's go ahead and I'll put the colors in here. Let's go ahead and pour the leftover batter in. Which spatula did I use? I think it was this one. Guess it doesn't matter. They'll both get washed anyway. All right. Starting with the dark green, and I think I'll just layer them. And then if there's a swirl, there is. If there isn't, then it doesn't matter. It smells good either way. Okay. Okay, so okay, there's that one. Leveling it out a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna get the light green. Just gonna scrape this down. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing still. I want to get this all out of here while I can, while the soap is still, the batter is still soft enough. So this is a really good fragrance. It doesn't seem to have really accelerated at all. The batter is still nice and fluid. I probably had more working time than I realized with it, but always better to be safe than sorry if you're going for a specific design. Although I should take my own advice, because as you've seen, I'll do a certain design and just not be careful and then end up with something different than I had planned. So, but it's all soap in the end, right? Okay, get this out. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of this whisk here. Okay, I'm gonna scrape all of it. I'm just scraping it down here. I think I can have enough room now to, oh, that's gonna make it harder for you to see, I think. Okay. This is like a really fudgy brown color. It's really nice. Okay. I'm going to clean this off before I switch to the pink because, of course, I don't want the pink to get all muddy looking. I don't really see Maid Marian as a very muddy person. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this down here. Oops. All right. There we go. What I thought was interesting about this particular Robin Hood movie is it was made in 1938, and it's in color, but the TV show with the same name, The Adventures of Robin Hood, was made in the 50s, but it's in black and white. And I always thought it was interesting that they did it that way. I guess the expense, perhaps, or as some people have suggested, not everybody, or did anybody at the time, I don't know, have color TVs. It would have been a lot more, it would have been a waste, I guess, to bother doing it in color if you didn't have a bunch of people that had access to a way to view it in color. So, but in the theaters, obviously you did. So, yeah, Stacey, I don't know. I don't know. Everybody is. They probably all had something to do. I'm just gonna go around. It almost looks like a rose in the middle, so I don't want to mess that up. I'm just gonna kind of swirl the green around the edges a little bit, and then I'm going to clean up the sides so that when this sets, it'll have a nice edge. There we go. Okay. And so here's that fragrance bottle. You can see it's empty now. I'll set that aside. Okay, so I'm going to spray the top of this with rubbing alcohol. I don't always do this for my soaps, but since I can't really tap the air bubbles out of this, sometimes if there's one on the surface and you spray it with alcohol, it'll pop. But okay, I'm not seeing any, so good. Okay. All right, so onto this. You can see it's already starting to thicken up. And okay, trying to get this as far away from me as possible so I don't risk anything. All right, and what I did was I got some toothpicks because I'm going to use these toothpicks to kind of help me guide these pieces into place. So the first thing I want to do, locate my lines here. Here they are. I'm going to take off this mask. Hold on a second. Oh, much better. Okay, so now I can kind of see a little bit better. The face masks tend to make things a little bit hazy looking. Yeah, it does look like a rose. Let me see what you're saying here. I don't have a soap melted butterfly or bee to put in the rose. Yeah, I do have butterflies. I could make one and add it later, but the one thing I don't like about that is that they tend to break, and then I'm left with like, oh, the sadness of my perfect design getting ruined, and yeah. But yeah, they can be really, really cute if you can find a way to make them not break. So I wasn't sure about the size on these arrows, and I knew that where's the line? Okay, there it is. I knew that I wouldn't be able to fit all these on here. So what I want to do is I'm going to start with one each, like one for each bar, and then I'm going to just put the rest in wherever I can fit them. And that way each bar will have one whole arrow and probably parts of multiple arrows. So I'm going to start with this. And the other reason why I wanted to lay it down like this is because arrows are not, especially if there was an arrow this size, it wouldn't be this thick. And so I wanted to be able to sink them down into the soap if possible. I don't know if this is really going to work or not, but we'll see. Okay, here's one side of the, no, one side of the feathers, the fletching. Okay, let's get that up against there, and then get another one and put it on the other side. And I had to make these, the little lines in the feathers, I had to make them face different directions. So there's the first one. Okay, this is starting to firm up. So let me get the other one in just so I can make sure it's in. And I can get it all kind of situated. Because that and the arrowheads are probably the most important to get flat. It doesn't matter so much if the feathers stick up. I tell you what though, this is, the gloves make make this a little awkward. Oh, I cannot see what I'm doing. What I'd like to do is get some like plastic tweezers or something and use those to kind of place tiny embeds like this. It's like I'm holding my breath every time I put one of these in here. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's the first one. And then the two on the side, and I'm going to put the feathers on. I do not have, I don't even want to like hold it up to the camera in case I drop it, but there we go. Maybe if I had longer toothpicks, I could use them as chopsticks and pick them up that way. Okay, let's get the arrow. The next one with the feathers going the other direction. Oops, get that back into place. Okay, so some of the green has come up, but that's okay because I can remove it afterwards. But also, if the green gets down into the veining of the feathers, it'll just kind of make it stand out more, so that's not a bad thing. Okay, here's the next one. These are really nice toothpicks. They're flat instead of round. I'm going to try using them like a little spatula. Oh, that works much better. Okay. But these are nice because they don't roll off the table. A lot easier to work with. There we go. Okay, there's that one. Let's get this one for the other side. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to fit the other arrows on here without it like I could, it's going to be really uneven. I'll be able to fit like one or two. So I may have to, this may have to be the last one, I think. Because I think it'll just look all messy if I add a bunch more in that little tiny space up there. So I will figure out what to do with the rest of the arrows. Maybe we can do like another soap that has an arrow design on it. There we go. So that's how that looks. Shoom. But, yep. So I'll figure out what to do with these arrows. I kind of want to put one on the rose, but I feel like out of context. Yeah, I think I'll leave it. I'll save these arrow pieces and we'll do something cool with it later. Looks cute. Thank you. Glad you like it. This will be easier to cut. I'll remember which way to cut it. So that's always important. And then we got the swirls on top. All this kind of came out honestly better than I had feared. So I'm glad for that. As far as better as in like the stuff cooperated, not that it looks better, but you know, I didn't have to worry about it accelerating. Yeah, I would probably use this fragrance again. Just because it smells good and it didn't fight me. But I also, although I did, I forgot about this. I mixed it in by hand, and that makes a huge difference. So I don't know how this would behave if it was stick blended in. So that's something to take into consideration. But it does smell really good. It's like, yeah, it's like, there's something, I'd like to, I should have looked up the description. It's just fruity and there's something else there. And then it's, like I said, very happy smelling. So definitely recommend it on just based on the scent alone. I'm going to move these little pieces closer to the center of my paper because they're threatening to leap off the edge. And then I'll pack them up and put them with my other soap dough pieces because I do have some that, where I've cut out pieces and then put them back on the container to keep them soft. Here we go. And then the little feathers are textured. I use a toothpick to kind of scrape the feather design in them. So in person, they look a little bit different than they do on the screen. But yeah. So we will check this out on Thursday and see how it looks inside. Hopefully the design and the colors all come out super cute. And also, I'm debating if I want to do this on a live or do it another way. I'm going to be making a milk soap for a friend, and I thought perhaps I could do it on a live. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. It'll be a raw milk, meaning like it's not powdered or whatever. It's like a liquid. I'm going to freeze it and then make a soap with it, so that'll be cool. And I might do some flour embeds for it or something. We'll see. But yeah, so just let me know if you guys want to see that. And I will see you guys back on Thursday. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying these. And I will see you guys Thursday. Have a great night.